piety, what was the name for that? A person who have religious piety and believe that sex is not holy, they of course may not believe that. And that's up to them. As long as they do not force that upon me, I am okay with that. If they attempt to force that upon me, now they're being unloving. And therefore, out of harmony with love, they are not pious religiously either. Yeah.
So, sexuality can be loving.
Yes.
And with Sigmund Freud, of course, seeing that the relationship between child and parents is based a lot on sexuality and competition, of the child desiring the mother and wishing to, I guess, kill off the father as a competitor. Does that tie into your view that the child's relationship with the parents can either determine how if they view God as loving or violent because of this competition?
I see what you're asking. Firstly, I'd like to say that Sigmund Freud has since changed his perspective as he's arrived in the spirit world. But secondly, he can see that his own perspective was very much flawed by his own sexual relationships and his own childhood, and his own analysis psychologically was very much determined by his own childhood and his own relationships. So firstly, someone who's famous, like Sigmund Freud, is often affected in their line of choice of discovery by their own childhood, and he now sees that. However, if we're looking at the question of violence towards the opposite, the same gender parent, or towards the competition, then I do believe these emotions do exist in people. They exist for a lot of different reasons. Often mothers set up competitive relationships with their daughters, for example, competing for their husband's attention, and this causes sexual damage to their daughters. Often the father has a high sexual investment in their daughter. In other words, the father doesn't want the daughter to engage sexually in another man, and this sets up an investment that is very damaging to the daughter sexually. I believe if the parents had healed their sexual emotions and worked their way through their sexual issues, those particular things would not have occurred. For example, if the parents were in a loving sexual environment with each other and revelled in that relationship, then it would be impossible for each of the parents to invest in either one or the other gender child. They would not wish to invest in the child because they are sexually and emotionally invested in each other. What you actually see happening in